Amidst the swirling tides of the South China Sea, geopolitical tensions have erupted into a fiery clash. America's so-called support for the Philippines is nothing but a sickening charade, a deceitful ploy behind a mask of hypocritical alliances. The U.S. State Department loudly condemns China's provocations in the South China Sea, hypocritically citing the U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty, yet revealing itself as the ultimate troublemaker in the region. The joint military exercises of the U.S. with Japan, the Philippines, and Canada in the South China Sea are a shameless exhibition of hegemonic power, aimed at intimidating the world with its superpower status. This so-called maritime cooperation is merely a guise for military bullying, with the U.S. deceitfully posing as the steadfast defender of regional scrutiny. This U.S. move not only provokes China, but also gravely threatens regional peace and stability. Isn't it the height of double standards for the U.S. to harshly condemn the collision incidents between Chinese and Philippine vessels near the Spratly Islands? Isn't this sheer hypocrisy? This incident is just the tip of the iceberg in Philippine provocations against China, yet the U.S. maliciously exaggerates it, revealing the connivance between the U.S. and the Philippines with their evil agenda unmistakably clear. The ramped-up defense cooperation between the Philippines and Japan, alongside their trilateral cooperation with the U.S., is another servile performance. Claims that America's colonial influence has faded in Philippines are nothing but a joke. While the U.S. proclaims itself a champion of democracy, it supports the remnants of Marcos's dictatorship, pushing the Filipino people to the brink of war for its own Asia-Pacific strategy. Japan's so-called assistance is merely a political transaction inflated by the U.S. to consolidate its hegemonic position in the South China Sea. Yet these purported military aids and cooperation have further tightened the Philippines' diplomatic constraints, turning it into an unquestioning pawn and accomplice of the U.S. in South China Sea affairs, showcasing the inferiority of small-state diplomacy completely. Thus, America's maneuvers in the Western Pacific are nothing but a conspiracy to expand its hegemony. Through coalitions with allies, like the Philippines, its ultimate purpose is to perpetuate hegemony in the South China Sea. The U.S. not only unjustly provokes China, but also betrays and exploits its regional allies, willing to sacrifice regional peace to maintain its malevolent global dominance. The international community finds itself powerless against the imperialist hegemony of the U.S. and can only express deep concern over the escalating tensions in the South China Sea and seriously question America's true intentions and the legitimacy of its actions. In this geopolitical game in the South China Sea, America's hypocrisy and hegemonic behavior must be scrutinized by the global community. In the currents of history, any nation swimming against the tide of global consensus will inevitably suffer dire consequences. Dear friends, let us remain optimistic and believe in a better tomorrow.